All right. Should be live. Okay.
Are we? I hope so.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, it says that we're live on YouTube.
Cool.
All right. Should be live. There we go. Yeah. So we're there. We're there on YouTube. We're there on YouTube. First live stream. We're here. We're here. And yeah, excited to have a first live stream going. You know, it's a different ball game. Anyway, today I'm joined by my two brothers, Nkosi and Samson. What's goody, brothers? What's goody? Yeah, it feels different. It feels different. Anyway, let me say hello to the boys. Sangi, what's good? Mangoro, what's good? What's happening?
All good, all good.
Great to be here, man. Great to be here with the boys.
Great to be with the boys indeed. Yeah, let's actually. I need to get some people in here as well. So let me just real quick. Anyway, today we'll be talking about the Chelsea Liverpool game. It just finished, so this is gonna be a live, giving our live reactions, our raw reactions. The game just finished, literally. So, excited to kind of get into our thoughts. Today, you're getting a very good indicator of what we say before anything happens, when it does, if it does happen. Anyway, let me start with you, Mangora. I know you're the resident Chelsea fan here. How did you see the game? I'm sure you must be over the moon, given the fact that you guys beat Liverpool. I don't know what your expectations were. I'm sure you thought you'd lose today, given the fact that you guys have like a million injuries. You didn't have Cole Palmer. You don't have your best defenders on the pitch. And, it's Liverpool at the end of the day. So I'm sure, I don't know if it came as a surprise that you won the game or if you was an expectation that you'd win. But anyway, what are your first impressions of that game?
I'd say it was a very good end-to-end game from both teams. When you look at what was displayed today, I think it was a true reflection and a good advertisement for the Premier League. I think what we saw today was why we tune in every weekend, be it at 4 in the morning, at 4 in the evening, whenever the EPL is playing, where you're watching anywhere in the world. Expectations coming into this game, I'd say I didn't have major expectations. I think a draw for me would have sufficed, where the team is right now from an injury standpoint. When you look at the back four, the goalkeeping situation, midfield, attackers, all of that stuff is sort of all over the place right now. So for me, a draw, and Liverpool have been at the top of their game recently, even though they haven't been creating chances and all. There weren't any last minute funny things for them this time, but for me, I was very happy that we won. I think once I saw the first half and the chances we were getting, I was like, okay, we can actually do something here. The main issue I had was playing Gusto in midfield. As much as he was good at tracking the runners and things like that, I felt like we lost the balance because you saw when Lavia came on. That's why I always preach for that brother Romeo Lavia. That guy is too dynamic. That guy, he dropped the shoulder on two different players and they're on the ground and we were on the counter. So you can see the balance that he brings in. Moises Caicedo. What more do I say? I think we need to send Brighton more money. Moises Caicedo. I've been telling you guys for years about this guy, that he is him. Moises Caicedo. Not only the goal, take that away from don't take that away from him. That he did spectacular there, top corner. The reading of the game, the interceptions, knowing when to tackle. It was like watching N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante.
You
That's
put
what
in
it looked
Caicedo.
like.
You put it on the same level.
Yeah,
He's,
Caicedo and N'Golo, my guy.
he's heading there. No, I'm not
My
saying
guy,
he's
stop
there.
it.
I'm not saying he's there. I'm saying he's heading there.
Respect
What
content,
I
man.
what I saw today and what I've been seeing the whole season, he just keeps it moving, keeps it ticking over, keeps it moving forward. What a brilliant game.
Didn't
I
you
was
have a trash
skeptical.
game last week?
When? No, he didn't have
Last
a bad
week,
game.
last week, he was trash last week, wasn't he?
I doubt that. I certainly doubt that. But when I look at the game as a whole, there were definitely quite a lot of things happening. Garnacho, I was not a big fan when he walked into our club. I was not a big fan. But today, he tore Bradley to shreds. He gave him only 45 minutes. Yellow card off. We didn't see him second half. Shout out to him. I was skeptical of my boy Sanchez. Today, he didn't put a foot wrong. I should give credit where credit is due. When a player plays well, we should give credit. Today he played well. He did play some good passes over the top. That I commend him for. Another one that I was skeptic of, maybe I wasn't too sure about how he's going to perform today. Benoit, very composed on the ball, very very composed on the ball, and you could see how composed he was. Like Salah, nowhere in the game. Kukureya, always a perfect player. Every single player that played today for Chelsea, even those that I haven't mentioned, I truly I give it up to them, except Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, I think I need to see more. If an 18-year-old kid is coming on and doing more in 20 minutes than you did in 70 minutes, you should worry. You should worry as a player. Uh, Mr. Estaval. I told you guys 2 years ago when no one had heard of him about this kid. I was like, there's a kid, he's coming. He's coming from Brazil. And people are like, another child. Who are these children y'all be signing? And he's arrived. He has arrived. I told you, I said he's going to make an instant impact. It was him and Kendrick Pyers. You saw him today. He was making people dance immediately. And then to crown it all off, he scored a last minute winner against these supposed champions. But that's pretty much Chelsea. Y'all can speak about Liverpool. I'm happy we won. I saw character that we displayed today, and to me, that was what I expected. I didn't expect us to roll over. I expected us to come there and perform well, which is what we did, and I'm very happy with that.
You know what's so funny? It's how Chelsea just spawns random players like it's WWE. This guy just talked about Benoit, and I'm like, is he talking about Chris Benoit? He just came from the dead to play for Chelsea. What's this Benoit character? Why have I never heard of him? I don't even know his position. I watched the entire game. I did not see any Benoit on the pitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. So it's just so funny that Chelsea like just spawn random characters. Yeah. Anyway, Samson, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Chelsea. I think it's interesting that like Mutz is alluding to, but nobody issue is what you'd say like he's probably like a third string center back when everyone's fit. Acheampong probably fourth string. Um, Esteval second team. Like you have so many players. Ganacho, I'm not even sure he would be here if everything was being run correctly. So it's like the transfer policy is always all over the place. But for some reason today it all just worked out. Today you guys look good. But as much as I want to praise you, Mangoro, as much as I want to praise Chelsea, and I think I have to praise the Caicedo goal because there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, there's something someone could have done about that. One person in particular could have done something about that goal. Just to track back, but won't
You mean
talk
shake your
about
ass, VVD?
ass shaker, elite ass shaker, that man. But like the thing is, that goal, like, okay, fine, that's an amazing goal, right? You can put that on the side. Aside from that, like, I just thought Liverpool were just not good, it's the same old thing. Like, yes, they can put a few pads together, look a little dangerous in some spells, but Chelsea just looked in control, which is insane because Chelsea are missing like 9 people. Like that's how long the injury list is. 9 people. And Chelsea finished the game with the right back playing center back. Chelsea started the game with the right back playing center mid. Like they had so much control. You would have thought this is a full strength Chelsea, but no. This is a Chelsea that's like hanging on by a thread. Like these guys are these are last legs. Joao Pedro came off, Marco Guiu came on, a Pokemon character. No, nobody knows these people. Like these are nobodies, and they're out there and they're performing, and it's like Liverpool. You couldn't do a damn thing about these people. You couldn't hack it against these guys. I mean, Mo Salah, I know you're washed, but like Kukurea, like he's locking you down. You have on the other side Bradley getting cooked by Ganacho. I mean, seriously, Ganacho. Ganacho has you getting hooked at halftime. I mean, I'm just shook. I think this Liverpool team. I mean, even just taking away like there's obvious problems with like the team cohesion and players understanding each other on the pitch. Um, Fine, that takes time. We understand that, new signings. But outside of that, the team looks bad. The team looks bad when they defend. The team looks bad when they attack. The team looks bad in all phases, all the time. And I don't know if it's just a few training sessions. I feel like some people are washed and some people need to go sit outside. Verts looked a lot better today. He sat outside. He came on. He looked okay. Maybe Mo Salah, it's time for him to go sit outside. Maybe he'll come back a better player. Um, Konate hooked at 60 minutes. I don't even know why, because they hooked Konate to play Gravenberch back there. Like, man, I'm trying to be positive for the Liverpool fans, but I don't know if it's possible, man. You made Chelsea look really, really good, and you made it not just. This is a Chelsea team without Cole Palmer. This is a Chelsea team that lost 3-1 to Brighton. You made them look like they might be contenders. And of course he's obviously proud of his boys as he should be, but even he knows that, like, hey man, Ganacho killing his fullback for 45 minutes isn't going to happen every week. Like, this is a little unprecedented. So yeah, there's a big problems there at Anfield. Serious,
I,
serious problems.
yeah, and also I think on the Liverpool side, there's just the lack of balance from what I saw, because when it's just starting off at the back, I know Mamas does really that was his first game today, but he looked so uncomfortable whenever they passed him the ball back. And I think he's also his center backs were letting him down. Like, they know fully well that he's a left footed keeper, but every time they want to play to his right hand side. And I'd be like, think about him. Like, he's your keeper. Like, play him the ball to his feet, like his right foot properly, so that if he needs to clear it, he clears it. Every time he's trying to clear with his right foot when some of this pressure on, he just looks uncomfortable. Kirkers, I told y'all that's Trent, and I hope people now start to see more of it. He's more concerned about trying to get into the attack rather than actually defending, and it stretches the defense there at the back. But all in all, like, Gravenberch, actually for me personally, Gravenberch actually looked more dangerous at center back than he did in center mid, because what he could be able to do is get the ball at center back whenever like the keeper would pass it to him when he could, and then drive into the midfield. What does that do? It pretty much breaks the entire Chelsea press or the entire Chelsea like balance. Where now when he's driving through the midfield, there's gaps opening up because someone has now let Gravenberch run past. What does that do? It opens up pockets. That's how they started like getting more chances from that. Whereas when he was in the midfield, he couldn't drive with the ball because everything was now in front of him, and it was a man on man, like like a one is to one job, and he didn't have that balance. So for me, like, that's when he looked dangerous. Verts, he had these moments as we saw when he came on the second half, but you can tell that he's still not up to speed. Isak does not look like the player that he got an assist. We gotta give him credit. He got an assist, but he doesn't look like the player that we've seen before at Newcastle. I think it's going to take time to settle in, understand, and then he'll start to look more dangerous. Like today, he was being handled by an 18-year-old Josh Achimpong, who's going to, I think I don't know if he's writing his exams now or his GCSEs or something along the lines. He's got school on Monday. So it's very interesting to see like how Liverpool, and I think now there are a few things that Slot needs to go back and look at, maybe on the tactics wise, because my God, Mo Salah is a shadow of his former self. Gakpo looked more dangerous than Salah, which to me was very surprising because I thought Salah with he had a point to prove up against his former team. He's the reigning Premier League player of the season. Like he was going to come in and do serious damage. But I don't know. Like there were chances where he'd get through, like first half and second half. I think the Verts one early in the second half, and he hit it wide. And then there was a chance where he was supposed to pass, and then he just got caught in two minds and just skied it. And there was a third chance as well, and I was like, is is he just out of form or what exactly is happening
He's trash.
with? I don't think he's trash. I just
He's just trash.
okay, if you say so. But for me personally, I think there were a lot of like there was an imbalance within like the Liverpool team today. It's like some of them they just woke up and hadn't played together before, and then they just went onto the field. That on the Chelsea side, some of them sort of did look out of place as well, but some of them did look like. And I think with Chelsea, what I've now started to learn as the season goes on is they actually prefer to play the big teams rather than the other teams. Because if you can play like this against a team like Liverpool and then go drop a stinker against Brighton, it's it's very I'd say like worrying to me as a supporter like of watching this team. It's like how can you perform so well in this game and then next week when we play Nottingham Forest, when we can complete the Ange 007, uh, you decide to be a no-show. So to me, that's very concerning, honestly.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think you guys are gonna whoop Ange. I don't know why you're concerned about that game.
That would be the game he even gets fired, no? I've heard I'm hearing rumors and reports that the boy our fat Greek there is not very happy with the other fat Greek there, and they're butting heads. They're butting heads or butting fat, whatever it is that they're butting stomachs, and things are not right there in Nottingham Forest. And I love it. I love the
Listen,
downfall.
it's not big enough for two fat Greeks, man. Only one fat Greek at a time.
In England, yeah, the UK is not big enough for two fat Greeks for real. Like,
Yo.
you can't have two burritos. It is what it is, man. So we'll see. Again, I'm here for it. But you know what, Mangoro, you're acting as if Liverpool today was just an anomaly. I've been saying from the very beginning, this is the true Liverpool right here. This is what we've been seeing. Without PJ Morwell stepping in, doing that thing, Liverpool have been a disjointed team from the very beginning. Let's just keep it a buck. Like at no point have I seen the Liverpool team looking like they are, they're meshing well, they're cooking, everything is making sense. With all the Isak drama that was, in the summer, and then like getting into the Prem and all these other stuff that was going on, like it's just all been luck. And it's just, it's finally caught up. I'm happy it finally caught up. And now they can't hide anymore. Now it's all falling apart.
Now, I would disagree with that. I'd say the attack at the beginning of the season was flowing with Eketike and Gakpo. There it was flowing there. At the beginning of the season, the first couple of games, the attack, as I'm saying, being specific, the attack, the defense, it's being breached. That's been breached from the beginning of the season. Semenyo was there doing his things. Newcastle with 10 men did their things. Today, Chelsea did their things. Other teams did their things in other games. So that's why I'm putting out that clear distinction between the two. That the attack has been the attack that has done well. The defense has been letting them down.
When you're talking about two attackers, though, you're talking about Etikite and Gakpo. Let's talk about the rest of the attack, though. Mo Salah, Verts, trash. They ain't doing nothing, So it's not even the full attack. The only person we can mention the attack is Gravenberch. Like Gravenberch has been doing decently this season, but generally speaking, it's only maybe two players that have been decent.
But then when you say the problem is my problem there with your argument is it's centered around the idea of this is now the Liverpool going to see for the rest of the season. That's what you're now basing this off.
You think it's better?
No, they'll definitely win more games. That's a fact.
But better than what they did today? You think they're going to get better than this?
Yeah, they'll definitely get better than this. Today they were terrible.
They've been terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, how do you think they get better? Like, what do you think you're going to see over time from Liverpool?
No, you start to see cohesion between who the number 10 is. Because you look at Zabazlai, today another case where I ask him, look at your career, son. Look at your career. Today, you went from number 10 to right back again for someone who didn't do anything. You went from number 10. You weren't doing anything. That's a fact. You were just running all over the place. The thing is with some players, like, that's how I have a problem with them. So Bosley, Bernardo Silva, they look like they're doing something on the field. They look busy. But when you ask yourself, where's GNA? Where's something? Zero. So for me, I'd say they'll definitely look better in terms of the games going forward. Today was just a game where they were off. Maybe their Champions League loss did affect them, and last week against Palace also did affect them. But I do want to shout out Anthony Taylor. He didn't ruin the game today. I was very concerned about him today. When I saw him, I was like, oh God, we're going to be in for it. So shout out to him. I think it's only fair that when he has a good game, we give him credit because it seems like these refs now, they also want credit. So I'll give him credit. And then when he does wrong things, I will criticize him accordingly. So it's only fair.
You know, just looking forward, Mutsi, you asked, is this Liverpool team going to get better? I think that's all on Slot. I think that's something only he can figure out because where this team, in my opinion, has gone wrong, it all starts and ends with Trent. And I think Trent is that player that allowed Liverpool to just maintain this like intense attacking pressure on a team for like 90 minutes, where it seemed like no matter what you do, that ball just keeps finding its way over your defenders' heads. It finds Mo Salah here. It finds this guy here. It finds this guy here every single time. And you try to play out from the back, boom, you're being pressed, you know, and like you have to rely on like these, you have to rely on basically one of your players turning into Trent and hitting a very, very direct ball on his wing in order to get a decent counter attack. So most teams in the league can't handle that. Most teams, like, this is why big teams usually just roll other teams in the league, even if they're having a bad season. Most teams can't handle just, five attacks just in a 20-minute spell, just hammering your goal. People get tired. All of a sudden, you can't play football the way you wanted to. But Liverpool are just not efficient at all in creating anything, in building up, in sustaining anything. So when it all breaks down, um, recovering like because I think there was a spell in the second half that kind of beautifully showed this, and it's when Lavia came on, where it basically turned into a basketball match. Um, the ball would get lost by either team in midfield, right? When Liverpool would lose it and play it forward, it would break down because Zoboslai makes a bad pass, Verts makes a bad pass, or Verts tries to run with it, it gets robbed. Something. Chelsea get it, Lavia, left wing, gone. Right wing, gone. Striker. And it's pinpoint, or even Robert Sanchez, pinpoint. It's getting there, it's hitting, and the attack sustains. Liverpool running back. When Liverpool get the ball back, they're tired. All of a sudden, they have to slow it down, catch their breath, start again. That's what they used to do to teams. They can't do it anymore. So I think this is on Slot. Slot has to figure out, now that Trent is gone, right? Because we've seen Konate. I think as much as Konate is good defending on the ball, he likes passing it to his keeper a little too much. He likes passing it to Van Dijk a little too much, and he misses Trent more than anybody. He doesn't miss the defending, but he misses him on the attack. It's one of those things where like you don't realize what you have until it's gone. Because like now he's passing it to Frimpong, to Bradley, and he's wondering, where's the ball? Where's the ball just coming back? I gave it to you. You're supposed to just go, 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 go. But it keeps coming back and he doesn't get it. So Slot needs to fix this. And maybe it's Soboslai right back. Maybe that's your job now. I don't know. Maybe Gravenberch, center back. Maybe it's a back three now. He drops in there. He drives the ball through midfield. I don't know. But something has to change. And it's only Slot, in my opinion, who can fix this because, it's not like the players are, that much worse than the opposition. Because honestly, Liverpool, on paper, the Liverpool team that was put out today was better than the Chelsea team that was put out. But the Chelsea team was just way better organized and had a way better idea of what they wanted to do than this Liverpool team. So Slot has a lot of work to do. And
Hey,
we'll
that
see.
that
We'll see
bold
this
fraud
afterward.
getting exposed.
It's quite crazy that Chelsea actually finished the game with a back four of four fullbacks,
Right?
zero center backs. We were playing with no center backs. All of those guys are fullbacks. Like to me, that's just I didn't even know that was possible, but apparently we did it today. So it was
Also, I
true.
don't.
It was
Hmm.
true for a short period of time. Also, I do want to mention.
Yeah, but I don't know what you. I don't know, especially Samson, what you're talking about. Konate is a good defender. He's not a good defender. He's never been a good defender. In my humble opinion, I've never seen a good game from Konate ever. Like he's always looked shaky, especially this season in particular. That brother looks so shaky, it's disgusting. Like I don't understand. I've never seen a good game from him. And he got hooked, by the way. 55th
Well,
minute, he was hooked because
I'll
it's
put it.
trash.
I'll put it. I'll put it to you this way: Konate looks bad because he's the only one actually trying to attack the ball. He's the only one actually trying to stop the attack. Everybody else, especially his partner in crime, is running the other way. The other guys are chasing back because they're too busy attacking. He's the only one trying to meet the attacker and stop them. So obviously, you're gonna get cooked if you have to do that 10 times a game. Because if you look at Konate, the first three challenges, oh, he's got it, dominant, clean. The first foul he makes, it's downhill from there. It's always downhill from there, and it just happens. And I think it's too much pressure on him, which is why I love that Liverpool didn't get another defensive midfielder. I love that they didn't get another center back. I love that they got two attacking fullbacks. I think that's great for the league, you know. And as they were making these signings, I said it, they are writing checks that Konate's needs has to cash. And that's what you're seeing. Like, he has to do it by himself because no one else wants to help.
I mean, what can you do him? Got shake your ass VVD there in the back line and, backtracking king. Someone in the comments is saying, could Slot be a fraud? Yes. Slot is a fraud. Slot is way over his head. He doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't know what he's doing. Yes, last season he just rode on the coattails of what Klopp had built over time. And he just got lucky that, Arsenal and City and all the other bigger teams were not up to par. And Konate going to Madrid, I can see it happening actually. I could see it happening because I feel like Madrid would suit him. But this Liverpool thing that he's got going on with Cheika as VVD, I don't see how he lasts. Him getting hooked in the 55th minute today is indicative of his current state. Also, we really haven't talked too much. I mean, I know, of course, you talked about him, but again, Verts is what now? 009, 10. He's the best agent in the spy agency. He's out there. He didn't even start today. My brother came in at halftime, after halftime, and basically did nothing. Slot could have just taken off another man, and he could have kept it pushing. Also, why is Frimpong not starting games? Do you guys know? Like, is Bradley that much better than Frimpong? I thought that with Frimpong on the pitch, they actually play better. Like I thought, he attacks the ball, he makes crosses. That game when they played against Burnley, he's the reason why they even got that goal at the end. So why is it that Frimpong is getting benched? I don't understand that decision. Maybe you guys know.
I'd say he's been injured and he's just generally been out of form. But also, when you think about, let's go back to Frimpong's profile. I actually do want to mention this. Frimpong, when he came to Liverpool, he was a wing back. So slotting into a back four and your entire majority of your professional career, you've played as a wing back. You've also played as a winger, I think at City. Like it's sort of kind of different. So I think for him, it's going to take time. I was also very surprised that when you're now your the right back that you started is struggling. At halftime, you don't bring him on to cover there. Maybe I think Slot looked at the fact that I'm already attacking with Kirkett on the other side. This is my outball. Now, if I put Frimpong this side, he also wants to attack. So if Chelsea get on the counter, we could be down for. So I think that was his biggest worry. And I think the other thing is I'd say it's an unpopular opinion, but I believe that they rushed to put in Isak. I understand he was a lot of money, but they rushed to start him. Like Ekitike, he was doing well. He was combining with all the players at the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden now he's on the bench. He's probably wondering to himself, what did he do to deserve this? Because he came in, he started scoring, he started doing the business, and then all of a sudden a big signing, who, by the way, didn't have preseason or train properly because he was busy selling houses and running away from training grounds. That's a fact. So now you're telling me that that's that guy that you're gonna put into start a game of this magnitude, where you potentially see Chelsea as a potential, I'm not gonna say a title challenger, but like a potential team that could derail you in this particular title race. So it's very interesting to see like how all of this pans out. But yeah, there's certainly some players that should be worried about their careers there at Liverpool. Like I think it's too early to say, but they should definitely be looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, we also have a comment here by the boy Pujak Mansa, our one of our avid listeners on the podcast. I will appreciate you being here, my brother. He's talking about Sobot's slide and defense decision is a sign of desperation, if we're being honest. And Slot has been given a team that he doesn't know what to do with. I concur with that decision. I don't know why Sobotslai is being played in right back. I think doesn't he play better as a midfielder, anyways? You know, I think the only good thing about Soboslai is that knob of a foot he has. You know, when he has to hit dead ball situations. I think that's the only time that brother is actually pretty decent. Other than that, I haven't seen anything from him that I can say it's powerful. I can't say anything from him that's powerful. But I don't know. I don't know what you brothers think about Soboslai. You know, we would call him Musomboslai. Is playing on as a right back.
Yeah, I mean, to comment on what he says about Slot doesn't know what to do with the signings, and I think that's true because if you look at the signings he's got, the way he's trying to play them, you know, on paper, and I saw this when the signings were being made. Liverpool fans were making these lineups, right, where you had Isak and Ekitika in the team, you had Verts in the team, you had Salah in the team, you had both the new fullbacks in the team, and you were looking at the team and you were like, there's no defense here being played whatsoever. And that's exactly what's playing out. So it's like, yeah, he has all these pieces, but it's like, how do you piece them together based on like what those players are trying to do on the pitch? Because as Nkosi has already mentioned, um, Kirkes and Frimpong, they want to be as high as possible. They want to play like Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, but they have zero defensive IQ between them. They just don't do that side of the game. I mean, I remember there was a wild challenge Kirkes put in sometime in the game. He was trying to win the ball and he just missed it completely. And I think it was Pedro Neto. He was just in, just free run. So like stuff like that. Like these are not like good defenders at all. Um, and like, I feel for Slot here because, the people signing these players is like almost like, well, what do you expect? Like when you have the ball and you move up the pitch, all these players are going to be clustered around the box. There's going to be max three people back, which is Gravenberch and the two center backs. That's who's going to stay back. Everyone else in that team is going to be around the box. So unless you want to score every single time you're up there, it's not happening. Like you built a team that's unbalanced. You did not sign players who fit, and it's the unfortunate part. But yeah, Slot does have to figure it out. Gravenberch CB might be a thing though. Maybe that's a little.
Gravenberch is a CB. That's crazy, Sangi. That's actually a wild one.
Like you drop him in, they play as a three. Then maybe Verts comes from the wing, he joins the midfield, something, because the fullbacks are gonna be high and wide anyways. So just let Kirkus be a winger and bring Verts in when the guy overlaps. Maybe that brings some stability. I don't know, but I don't think you can play all your attackers at once and play those fullbacks as well.
Yeah. Wait. So Mangoro, I have a question for you. Given that today Liverpool was probably the hardest game you have in the next few, because if I look at your fixture list, right, you're gonna play Forest, you're gonna play Sunderland, you're gonna play Spurs, which you're gonna lose to, of course, and then you're gonna play Wolves, Burnley, and then your next hardest game is Arsenal in November. So given the fact that you survived Liverpool, you beat Liverpool, do you think that you guys are on an upward trajectory? Do you believe that you're gonna win all these games, are gonna winnable, except Spurs, of course, but are these games, is it looking bright for Chelsea? Like, do you think that, you've climbed the top of the hill and now you can kind of relax a little bit? Or do you still think that there's a lot of work to do?
There's definitely a lot of work to do. I don't get it twisted. I think the one thing that is a certain guarantee in every season is that Spurs we collect 6 points without a shadow of a doubt. Home and away 6 points. It's about who's going to get red carded for Spurs this season. So that's just a fact. But when I look at the games that you mentioned there, I think what Chelsea are currently at a point like with how the squad is in terms of like who's available and things like that. I think it's a matter of just taking one game at a time, like just getting the 3 points. Like how I've been mentioning from the beginning of the season, just get the 3 points in the next game and then just move on to the next game. Don't think too like out there, like big picture, like title race and all that other stuff. No, we shouldn't be doing any of those things. I mentioned at the beginning of the season, it's all about taking one game at a time and then just moving from there and seeing where you at and then starting to build combination plays across like some of the players because like when you look at someone like Garnacho, that was his first start today. You look at Gittins, he hasn't played much. You look at Hato, who came on, he hasn't played much at centre back. Benoit hadn't played pretty much all season, probably like his second or third game. So like it's about rebuilding those or building some new connections or rebuilding new or building new connections in between like some of these players that play in certain positions. Gusto playing in midfield, probably like his second or third time. So I think it's about just taking one game at a time and then seeing where we can go from there. We shouldn't get too excited because we've seen the red cards the last couple of weeks. We've seen the mistakes by Sanchez and the likes at the back. So we can't get too gassed just because we won one game. We're not that team that all of a sudden wins one game now. We believe that we could win the league. Like you saw Manchester United after they beat us, they thought all is well, and we saw what happened the week after. So it's to us and to all the supporters out there, just take it one game at a time and see where we go from there.
Yeah, looking at some of the more comments here. You know, we have one of my boys, Iggy's in the chat. He's talking about how Samson's never told a lie. I don't think that's true. Samson has told many lies in this podcast, so I don't know where he got that from. And then in terms of, and then we have another comment from Tammy here, talking about how Chelsea has the right to be a great, has the ability to be a great side, but Maresca might be the issue. And we did see Maresca get a red card today, so I don't know if that impacts the next game. You know, since you don't have the boy Maresca on the touchlines. He ran across the side of the pitch like his prime Mourinho today. It looked like this win meant a lot to him.
I think when you score a goal in the 90, a winner against the potential champions, as they call themselves, in the 96th minute through an 18-year-old kid, I think the emotions can get the better of you there.
So finally, I'm celebrating last minute winners is okay, huh?
If you, I don't know. Like,
I got you, Mango. I got you.
No, I would say
it's perfectly
okay.
fine, isn't it?
No, if you do it, okay, this is like the first time we've done it. But like, if I'm talking about if we would been doing it for 5 weeks straight, now then when we hit 90th minute, I know we're gonna score. Then I'd have a problem. But the fact that we did it like this is the first time we've done it all season, I'm okay with it. And it was a big game, so I'm okay with it. But if this becomes the norm going forward, then I have a problem with it.
Mm,
Yeah, man. All I'm saying is that we should end the celebration police, man. You know, people should be allowed to celebrate last minute winners, man. I don't care who it's against. That could have been Preston, that could have been Grimsby. 96 minute, 18-year-old scores, man. Mongoro, you should have ran outside, man. That's what you should have done. You should have taken your shirt off. Woo! That's how
Nah,
you
man.
celebrate last minute winner. That's how
We
everybody
keep it
should
calm,
do
man. We
Since
keep
it's
it
also
calm.
your boy Stava, whatever his name is. I'm sure you should have been
Let-
happy
let-
that it's your boy.
let me say something, Muta, as to why I'm okay if Morris got a red card or whatever happened at that point for that celebration. This is an 18-year-old kid, Muta, who literally just left Rio for the first time to move to Europe. Doesn't speak the language, doesn't know much. And then you telling me that he's gonna come on in a game against Liverpool, an 18-year-old Muta. His colleagues are in school taking exams, doing all sorts of things that 18-year-olds do nowadays. On the internet. On the internet, they're doing whatever they're doing. Now, this is a kid who's now living alone for the first time, maybe living with his parents or a guardian, whoever, and you throw him in, and then he scores his first goal. Mutsa, keep in mind that was his first goal at that point in time. I think I think the emotions can get the better of the manager. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay, Mangoro. I mean, you know what? It's good to celebrate your boys. It's good to celebrate goals, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm always happy to see Liverpool drop points. Right now, you know, Arsenal's actually top of the league, so they did beat West Ham today, 2-0. I saw. So I don't know. Maybe with a few minutes to talk briefly about that Arsenal game because you know it was early in the day today. I can't say I was expecting anything different. Obviously, it would have been nice to see West Ham win the game. Obviously, but you know, so be it. It's such that. And I even said it to you boys earlier. You know what? Arsenal have the best chance now to potentially win the league. Probably. Like this is the only shot. I thought last season was your only shot, and I still believe that because I don't think this week. But you know what? In general, though, I think you guys have probably the strongest squad out of the rest. So, but I'm still not convinced that you will go anywhere.
Well, just to answer that, I think Arsenal. This kind of reminded me after watching the Liverpool again. Reminded me of my comments. You remember you guys thought it was a little controversial that I said, if Arteta stops you from winning games, you consider changing him. I think that those thoughts kind of came back to me, and I think they kind of ring more true now than they did then because I don't see Liverpool improving too much. Because I think honestly we're gonna go into games and we're gonna be the better team, like 99% of the time. Like there's maybe going to be one or two games later in the season, maybe if we're dealing with injuries, where we're going to be a bit shaky and it's going to be like, are we going to get a result? But for the most part, you've seen the league, you've seen us. We've conceded 3 goals so far in all the games. We just keep scoring when we need to, when we need to score, and that's the main thing because just about every team that we've played so far has changed their game plan to play us. Even Liverpool did it. They changed how they usually play to make sure we don't have, just the freedom to just play.
Saying every team does that. Stop it.
No,
You're
no.
acting as if other teams don't adjust other people. Stop.
Every team
You're
is
acting
not.
as if. Stop it. Stop it.
Most
Stop it.
teams,
Stop it.
especially big teams, Man City does not park the bus when they play anybody. Man City
City changes
goes
how they
for
play
it.
with anybody. That's
No,
just how you do as a coach.
people change it for us because they understand how dangerous we are. They
Exactly.
understand what's going to happen. So what I'm saying is,
Stop it.
what I'm saying is, if we can keep breaking teams down, if we can keep overcoming these buses that are just rolling up, I think we're fine. And I think that's an us problem. That's what I'm saying. We are our biggest threat. If we take care of ourselves, Arteta picks the right lineups, makes the right subs, we're winning the league. I don't think that's up for debate. And I think at this point, unless we go on like a nasty run where we have like 12 injuries, fine. That may be an excuse.
I'm
But
seeing a comment
otherwise,
here. Wait. I'm seeing a comment here
it.
by Tommy in the chat saying that United didn't change their way and they still kicked your ass. What do you have to say about that?
They kicked our ass.
Didn't you lose to Arsenal? Did you lose to United?
We've lost one game this season. It's only against Liverpool. We beat United, actually. But this is what I'm saying. Like, look, Arteta, this is why I'm saying he has no more excuse because really, realistically, okay, fine. If you want to put a team that's going to compete with us, it's Liverpool. You're seeing the issues Liverpool have now. Tell me another season where a Liverpool team like this is going to be your main competitor. Tell me. Show me another season. So that's the point here. Like, and I don't think Liverpool are gonna get much better unless like that attack suddenly clicks and guys are scoring hat tricks every week. I don't see it. So I'm just saying, when I saw that game, it kind of just brought those thoughts back, and I think, yeah, we are our own biggest enemy. Our own, and if we are serious and we just do the right things, it should work out. Otherwise, man, I might go on a little hiatus, man. Start watching Barca or Real Madrid or
Oh,
something.
you gotta go after. Okay, so you're saying if you guys don't win the Prem this season, you're going on a hiatus from supporting Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll go watch Barca, man. I won't stop supporting them, but I'll be a little quiet.
I think I think we need to reset expectations across all teams because there's 38 games in the Premier League. There's going to be Champions League. There's going to be cup competitions. I think it's too premature of us to or any team in particular to be talking about we're going to win the league. That's just my take. Be it the favorites, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, whoever.
Spurs.
Stop. Uh, I think it's too early because injuries. We've seen what injuries can do to teams. Like it can dilapidate the entire team, especially like critical players. You know the period between November and March. If so, how I determine a team that's going to win the league is the team that comes out of March with the lead and the least number of injuries to key players. I think they can drag it over the line. That's just generally been the trend over the years because now you have players that are available to see you through the end of the season. And if the gap isn't too big, because last year I think what killed Arsenal, I think maybe it was the gap also, plus the red cards, plus the injuries. I think also the injuries. I mean, also the gap, like psychologically, it can damage you like because like you put in a good performance and then they go and they win, and it goes back to that something I previously mentioned of when the team that is ahead of you plays first. That is also psychologically damaging because when they play and they win, they go from 6 to 9 points, for example. Now when you come into play, you know that it's a must win away at Newcastle. It's a must win at City. It's a must win at United. It's a must win at Spurs. So that is difficult because now you have to think about it. Now players are not playing like properly because everything is being rushed because they have to score. That's why you end up seeing a lot of teams, these teams in these title races, concede first because they're just so scared. They're not playing naturally. Now they're playing the title. They're not playing the game anymore, like to play naturally amongst themselves. So for me personally, I'd say it's about going through and seeing like making sure your player wellness is at its peak, fitness, health, all of that good stuff is in good shape. You'll pretty much be on your way there. If you focus too much on the title and things like that, I think get you can get you can get wide. But Arsenal, I do agree. Um, Arteta, he might be the 007 because we've been waiting. Like, what phase is this now? Like, because, but and that's why I see Samson's point there.
Yeah, we actually have a comment, from our boy Pujak Mansa. He's saying Arsenal have a chance to win the league if they can play against the big three the same way they play smaller teams. They are fearless against the rest, timid in the big games. And we saw that already with Arteta playing against City, where like he was very like he wasn't going at it. He played Merino instead of playing Eze there or playing Nwaneri, right? He went into the game a little more pragmatic as compared to a little more like attacking. And that cost them the game. Like, if who knows if they went in there, we talked about this in the last episode. If he went in there like, you know what, I'm gonna take this as and meet City where I know where they are at because Cities know who they are as like compared to the last two seasons. So yeah, I mean it's a very valid point. So, and Samson, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think we need to understand. Like I also mentioned this in the previous part, like Arteta's idea of being attacking, he's not concerned about being attack or being defense. He's concerned with domination. He's concerned with controlling phases of play. So when you saw what you saw against Liverpool and Man City with Merino in there, that's what he's aiming for. He's trying to stop you from playing. He's trying to stop you from building out from the back. So he wants to press you up there. So he has all these great, duelers and tacklers in there. And that's in his mind, he's winning. In his mind, he's being so attacking, so aggressive because he's dominating in all the plays. And then, my whole thing with him is that, my brother, you can dominate all you want, dominate 90 minutes. All that matters at the end of the game is that scoreline. If you dominated for 90 minutes, but you lost 1-0, you lost 1-0. So what good is that domination? So I think it's something he's learning, that, hey, I might have to concede a little domination here, let them keep the ball a little bit if it means I get more attackers on the pitch. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with that again this season because, yeah, we all saw what Noneri did to Man City last season. I mean, the boy was already fearless then, just I think all the players in the team, except for the 15-year-old, you can trust to just go out there and perform because I think they've been through it. They've been through all the challenges, and it's just about the manager trusting them. So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as we're closing down here, we have one more comment to address. It's just saying, and we've talked about this before, if Arsenal doesn't win this year, we can be safe in assuming that Arteta is out. And I fully endorse that message. I think that if Arteta can't get a single trophy, and I know you were shitting on domestic trophies last time, but if you can't even get a Carabao Cup, man, that boy needs to leave. That boy needs to leave. Arsenal's not above domestic trophies. No one is.
That's the thing. You might want him to leave, but will he leave? Will he get fired? And for those of you who don't know anything about KSC Sports, Stan Kroenke Sports, my guy, if the checks are still coming in, that brother's not going anywhere. All right. The only way Arteta gets fired is if he finishes like 8th twice in a row and misses out in Europe. That's the only way. Until then, yeah, I think we might be stuck. Or maybe his son will see Suns, and do something. But they're not that kind of ownership group.
So the question we should be asking is, okay, fine, you can call for his head. He should be fired. But who would take over?
Yeah, it's always the thing,
Yeah, like we always talk about fire the manager. Who's there out there? Like I've seen people say Maresca should leave. Like, okay, fine, we fire him. Who's there out there available that can take this squad of players to the next level? Same thing for Arsenal. It's like same thing at United. They're calling for Ruben's head, but I sort of feel like that one's justified. But like, who will take over or who wants that? Okay, United's a bit different because like, who wants that job? Like, it's kind of tough.
I mean,
like same thing here.
Sean Dyche can easily improve things at United. Like, let's be serious. And he's publicly said on a podcast he'd take the job. So we know he'd do it.
Some are saying Gareth Southgate can take Arsenal to great lengths.
My guy, respect us, man.
That waistcoat, I don't think that waistcoat will be doing anything of note.
Also, he's not allowed at Arsenal because of that shit he tried to pull with Ben White. We haven't forgotten. We have not forgotten. World Cup, you and your assistant, you did that shit. He's not allowed. So he can forget about it.
Now, Fez, we'll also have a comment, and I think a good question. Someone is saying, banter aside, what do you guys really think of Thomas Frank and Spurs? I am seeing spouts of progression, but it may be early. This question, I feel like, is for me. Yeah. You know what? With Thomas Frank, he's massively improved. Let me even give you the stats with Spurs. We've lost 1 game in 8. We haven't considered a goal in the last 15 minutes of the game. We are sitting 3rd in the Premier League. We're cooking. We're cooking. We're scoring goals. Also, the only thing criticisms that I have so far is that our attacking side of things has been great because right now our leading goal scorer is own goals. That's the unfortunate piece of it. Our leading scorer, and then right below that is Palinha. Palinha has 3 goals, and we've had 4 own goals in that this season. So in terms of attacking potential, we still have a long way to go. If I look at like our boy Xavi Simons, he's had like games where it's like, okay, he's doing well, but he hasn't really been as effective as I'd like. You look at Kudus again has had moments where you're like, okay, yeah, I bet bright sparks, But for the most part, he hasn't really done anything that I can say, okay, he hasn't really impressed me too much so far. But I think Thomas Frank, at least defensively, to be honest though, we are still looking a little shake at the back, but we're a lot better than what it was under Ange. We're a lot better. We've improved massively, and to me, that's a win. To me, that is all. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If we've only lost one game this season, and lost to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth they cook. So I can't even be mad at that. But we're doing well. We came back against Wolves. You know, even the games that we've not, like today wasn't a great game of football. Yes, we beat Leeds, but that game was boring as hell. Like, I was watching that whole game and I was almost falling asleep, you know? Like, we didn't really offer too much. But at the end of the day, we scraped together a win, and that's all that matters. Just get that 3 points. That's, to me, all that matters at this point. And, again, we still need Kulusevski's missing. Madison is missing. Kolomuani hasn't really come in yet. Xavi Simons is still getting ready. You know, he's still whatever. So there's a lot of potential that's still waiting for us. And, yeah, you know, it's only up from here.
Let me get this straight. Boring football, as long as it gets the 3 points, is okay now. It's great. It's perfectly fine, right?
Listen, hey, I respect it, man. Listen, as long as you get those 3 points, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Being set piece FC, like it's right. Set piece goals. Yeah,
we're not set piece FC though. We're not set piece FC.
How did Simmons get his first assist? How'd that happen?
No, but that's our only goal from a corner. Like usually our goals are not from set pieces.
You've had other goals from set pieces.
No, that was like our main one from a set piece. Other than that, it's been in play.
And own goals.
And own goals. But those own goals didn't even come from set pieces. They came from crazy attack and pressure.
You just said that it's boring. Was the attack crazy but boring? You see?
No, I'm just saying the own goals have come from good pressure.
No, you said attack. You said attack. That means y'all were attacking them.
We were attacking. I'm saying the game today was boring. I'm not saying every game we play is boring.
Oh.
I'm just saying today in particular we played some boring football.
What about midweek? I believe it was it Wednesday you played?
Bodo Clit? Yes. Those ones.
The Wi-Fi password?
Yeah.
Your friends from the Europa League?
You know,
how exciting was that?
The best Norwegian. It wasn't exciting. Again, we should have lost that game. To be honest, like that was a crazy game. But you see, my main point here is that even in the games we were obviously being dominated, we're still able to pull away with something. To me, that's a great progression from where we were last season. The fact that we can still come back with something at the end of the day, to me, is a positive sign.
I think the comparison is sort of off in the fact that last season was the pits.
And we're out of the pits.
So are you really calling this progression?
Yes. If you're in the pits and then you out of the pits, that's progression.
Maybe it goes back to my whole idea on I don't understand what United and Spurs stand for. What when you go into a season, what are you going into a season to do? I said at the beginning of the season, I still maintain it. If Spurs and United finish in the top 10, that is a good season for them. That is a good season.
And I will not be mad at it.
Is that the expectation? Maybe I need to reset what my expectations of what your expectations are, especially for Spurs.
My guy, you saw what Ange did to us last season. Like, I think right now, this season, from what I can gather, like the expectation is that firstly, we just do better than last season. And right now, we have a new coach who's breaking in the new team. I don't think the expectation is that we're supposed to win the league. We're going to win the league, though, because that's the bonus. That's how good we are. But the point is, I think the expectation is we go as far as we can in the Champions League. You know, we're going to finish. If we finish top 6, I think that's a great, or even top 7. Top 6, top 7 is a great place to be in. If they're going to win the league, but if we don't, top 6, top 7 is still fun.
I thought you meant in the Champions League. I was sure.
Even Champions League, I don't see us. We're going to get to the semifinals. That's obvious. So I'm just saying, you know.
Wait, is that real chat or just delusion?
Yeah, no, it's real chat. It's real chat. We're going to get to the
question
semifinals.
said banter aside. You know, he was very clear about that.
And I'm very clear. We're winning the league and we're getting to at least the semifinals of the Champions League. That's very clear on those two things. Very clear. No banter aside.
I'm sorry, Paul Jack. We can't give you a straight answer, but I think this is as much as what Spurs is as an institution, because I think you have to consider everything, right? Like holistically. So they won a European trophy in the last season. They got rid of their CEO, who has been hated really just by the fan base for a long time, and they finally spent money in the transfer market, on players who you know are pretty good, are considered to be pretty good in the market. So, and the coach isn't trying to lose them games. The coach isn't trying to you know cling on to some you know ideas, some philosophies, just so he doesn't, instead of trying to win a game. So I think there is some progression. um but yeah, I think as an institution, Spurs is slowly trying to morph into something bigger, and I think you have to give them time. I think they're doing okay. I think they're doing just fine. I think if they finish top 8 with this manager, some more signings, I think this is a team you judge over the next 2 or 3 years as opposed to now. I think you have to think of them as starting a new cycle. Just put the past behind and say, okay, the next 2 3 years, what do you have for me, Spurs? Do you have an FA Cup for me? Do you have a Carabao Cup for me? Do you have top 5 for me? Do you have top 4? If he doesn't have that, then you ask questions. But for now, it's like, it's fine. It's Spurs. Like, let them have this, man. Like, what are we? What are against worked up for Spurs about?
Let me tell you something. The least we're getting this season is a domestic cup. That's the least. Minimum. And if it's FA, if it's Carabao, if it's the other one, or if it's the Prem, we're at least minimum getting a domestic cup. That I can put my money on.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, people are saying delusion and all that, but hey, every team has to be delusional if you think you're going to win the league. Like, everyone's delusional. You have to have some delusion. Some delusion is welcome. You got to be delusional sometimes.
Chelsea's not delusional.
Yeah, because you guys are trash.
No, us we're okay. As we set realistic expectations, as we don't lie to ourselves. Because what y'all do then come February, when you're now in the pits, the heartbreak is so painful because you set such high expectations. Now you've lost the plot and you're not delivering on your expectations. Us, we're realistic. We know where we think we are. We don't do things that, because like, what does this delusion give you? Like, you believe things that you truly know deep down. Uh, you know for a fact that it's not possible. Like, as I think I need to bring back the reality. I think people have lost touch with the reality of what their clubs really are. There's no way you can tell me that the team that finished 17th last season and signed random players is going to win the league with a new manager and finish and be in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Liverpool did it. Liverpool did it.
They went 17th. They've never been 17th.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, new coach won the league. It's possible.
17th. They were second or third.
Yeah, but we're a terrorist. We're a terrorist in our helm. And now we've got rid of the terrorist. We were never supposed to be that low anyways.
You were, but the table never lies, my guy. After 38 games is a true reflection of where you sit in that season.
No, but
after
I think that's
6
because of
games,
Ange.
you really you can't tell me that after 6 games now you're a title contender.
We are. As the league currently states, we are third with 2 points away from Arsenal, who's on top.
As I always say, the table never lies. At match week 38, when you're sitting in 11th or 10th, I don't want to hear anything.
I'll be there. Not saying anything.
But technically, you would have won the league if you finished 11th, because you'd be on page 1 of the second page of the league. So that's technically winning the league.
Win the bottom half.
Yeah, you won the bottom half. So it's number 1. You wanted number 1. We gave you number 1.
Hey, listen. Either way, we're gonna cook. Either way, we're gonna do way better than Chelsea this season. I can tell you that for a fact. Either way, because as someone is even mentioning in the chat right now, Chelsea has always been about spending a bunch of money and demanding immediate results, and obviously that formula does not work.
It worked. We're sitting here talking about Chelsea fans globally because for a span of about 10 years or 12 years, we spent money and we won leagues and Champions Leagues and won things that you would dream of winning. Fine, we fired managers, changed players, we won things. But with this new regime, they're going a different path. They're going the long-term path with youth. And fine, the first 3-4 years will be difficult, but once it gets to a good point, it'll click. It's not like, look at Arsenal. Arteta, when he walked in, they were playing Bellerin and Mavropanos and the likes.
Oh yeah.
Look at where the team is today. Leno and those chaps.
What if they
Look
won?
where the team is today.
What if they won? One FA Cup.
They've won nothing. They've won nothing.
So what's the point?
I'm gonna say it straight. But no, listen. Oh my God, where they've come from a perennial team that used to finish 8th under Emre to being title contenders. In the next 2-3 years, I'd see Arsenal winning something with this team. That's a fact. Same thing. We speak about Liverpool. Klopp went 7 years, didn't win a single thing because Pep won everything. And then he won the league, then he won the Champions League, then he won the league again. So you could, well, I think no, he won the league once. Slots was on the league the second time. So you can now start to see that progression. You can't tell me that overnight, you Spurs, over a span of 3 months, you're going to do work that people did in 7 years? No chance.
We're gonna show you. And
Okay,
you
what's
just
up?
have to wait. We'll show you.
Enough rage baiting, man. I think we know you're not doing it. We know Max, you'll finish as 5th. No, it's fine.
That's okay. We'll show you guys when we win the league. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyways, I think, you know what? Maybe that's a good place to end the live. You know, it's unless if there's something else burning on your chests. Unless if there's something else that's burning on your chests. You know, as someone is saying here, Spurs have a good manager. He was able to keep Brentford comfortable in the Prem, and then lost Ivan Toney, and nothing changed. Exactly. We have a mastermind at the helm. Spurs is going to cook this season. We have Frank the Train. We're going to be great. You guys just have to see. That's it. I won't say too much. You're just going to see.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
I won't have to hate watch Spurs at any point. You'll just do all the damage to yourselves. So I'll be here for it. I will remind you that you did draw against a team that was sitting 20th. I think they are 20th. You gave them their first point last week. That's not a team that's winning the league or doing serious damage in the league this season. That's just my take.
My guy, Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace. Arsenal lost to,
What? They haven't lost. Crystal Palace have not lost a game.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game, but I'm saying Crystal Palace beat Liverpool.
That's not the same as Wolves. Is the point.
Stop
rage baiting, man. Like
Wolves.
Why are you bringing like teams that have nothing to do with this conversation?
I'm just saying, it happens that you can sometimes draw and you sometimes lose to a team. It happens. It's the Premier League. You're not immune.
Wolves.
You're not immune. Didn't you guys lose to Nottingham Forest last season?
Who?
Last season. Chelsea. What is this argument, man?
Wait, we did not lose to Nottingham Forest. Don't lie to the viewers out there.
I'm just saying. Didn't you? I'm sure you guys also lost to Leicester.
No, we beat Leicester twice.
You lost to Leicester.
Where you getting these facts? Stop lying, bro.
At home, you did that.
Yes, you lost to Ipswich. My guy, you were just being ridiculous now.
I'm just saying you can lose to anybody. I'm just saying it's the Premier League. The Premier League.
We're not disputing that. I'm not disputing that.
You can draw with anyone. It can happen. So us giving Wolves their first point, hey, you know what? It happens, man. Shit happens. But at the end of the day, we're still sitting third, which others can't say. Right?
You're right. I cannot say that. Okay.
Yeah, none of us can say that, man. It's fine.
You got me, man.
It's fine.
I can't say that.
Anyway, this was fun, boys. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed our first live. We are definitely going to be doing more of these as the Premier League progresses, giving you our live reactions to games as they happen. So definitely put your notifications on. You don't want to miss the lives, especially in the beginning. So just know that if there's any big game that is showing, know that we're going to be live. Like, either immediately or 30 minutes after that. So I hope you're gonna look. It's gonna be a good season, and yeah, man, we can't wait to enjoy the Premier League. Maybe we might even do a watch along one of these good days. Maybe. I don't think these boys. They've said they don't want to watch any game with me, and I think that's fair because they would probably crack their TVs. But if they have the courage one day, maybe we can. Maybe Liverpool, maybe Arsenal versus Spurs will do a live watch party. Maybe.
Nah, forget about it. Bro. Forget about it.
But you know what? With that, man, you know, I think thank you guys, you know, for hanging out with us. Any last words, gents, before we end the live?
I'll go first. I'm so happy, man. For my, I'm not happy for Chelsea per se, but I'm just happy for the boy, Esteval. I'll keep on repeating it, Esteval Willian, number 41. The boy from Rio, 18-year-old Brazilian kid from Palmeiras, to come on and score a winner today. I'm proud of the boy. I've been telling people for years about the talent that this kid has, and hopefully people start to see it. Today, I hope was just a reminder, because we haven't forgotten that in the game against United, and in the game against United, got taken off in the 5th minute after the red card. He got sacrificed. In the game against Brighton, he got sacrificed, and for him today to come back, like his spirit would have been down from that, to come back and show that class today. I'm proud of the boy. Proud of you. I truly believe in you. You and Romeo Lavia are the two players that I truly believe that if fully fit, maybe I'll be delusional and say we can win the league.
Man, the absolute scenes in 2028 when Esteval Willian signs for Arsenal and Declan Rice is handing him the number 41, passing the torch. I'll be there. I'll be there.
We shall see. But anyway, with that, listener, thank you so much, man, for hanging out with the Forest Brothers. And we'll catch you on the next live and the next episodes when they drop. So peace out and enjoy your Saturday.